Hey you guys, Bree here. Thank you so much for stopping by and welcome to those of you that are new. In today's video, I am showing you my productive mom morning routine. Now, if you're stopping by my channel for the first time, I would love for you to subscribe and join our community, and make sure you hit that thumbs up button too. Today's video is in collab with Nicole from the Peachy Mama. Gosh, I've known her for like 3 years now, and she really is one of the most true, genuine, loving hearts here on the internet. So let her know that I sent you over and tell her I said hi. I start my morning like every other YouTuber with a big old glass of lemon water. I feel like I really need it every morning, especially before my coffee if I want to stay hydrated and focused throughout the day, and having two littles makes sleep very, very tiresome, so the water definitely helps in the morning. I like to meal prep a few things on the weekends, and egg cups or muffins are usually my go-to for an easy mom morning. So this was in my last video, but they're just some sweet potato egg cups that are really delicious and really easy to heat up. And then from there I go ahead and make my bulletproof coffee. So this fills me up for most of the morning. It's just ghee, a little bit of collagen, and some nut pods, which are dairy free, and it's so delicious. So if you try it, please let me know. I will say that having a frother totally changes the coffee game in the morning. I use Nespresso and then froth everything together, and it is so creamy. From there, I make my kids and my husband breakfast, and then we move on to activity time. Every night before my daughter goes to bed, I ask her what she wants to do the next day, and so she chose painting. I keep that activity center right by my kitchen table because it's great to have easy access to all of those quick and easy arts and crafts activities. So I fill it with Target dollar spot crafts, dollar store crafts. We have tons of paint, stickers, workbooks, Play-Doh, things like that. I highly recommend setting up a station like that. It was a lifesaver during quarantine. And then this morning we're just working on our shapes and some painting. My daughter's gotten really good at staying within the lines, which has been really impressive considering she is just 3. So I really enjoy spending this time with her, and I find that if I spend a little bit of time with her early in the morning, the rest of our day runs so smoothly. Moving on to workbooks, I really like to create stations for her to kind of choose what it is she wants to do, and I get these workbooks from Marshalls, Home Goods, TJ Maxx, and then I get the Kumon workbooks that I love and talk about all the time from Amazon. But in these books we do a lot of tracing, a lot of cutting and pasting, sticker work, coloring, mazes. It's just a really great educational activity, and I really try to get something educational, some outdoor time, and some creative time done every single day with my kids, especially staying home with them. Once I get her all set up and in the groove of getting workbook stuff done, I will try to sneak away and put away the dishes from the night before. My baby gets up between 5 and 6 a.m., so usually I spend time with her, and then after my daughter's breakfast, I can get the baby down for a nap, and this gives me some time to clean up some things in the kitchen from breakfast, get a workout in, and you'll see that in a minute. And I really try to squeeze all of that in while the baby is sleeping.
Told me more than once to show you my intention. My brain gets blocked at times, but now somehow I'll give you my attention. You've got to know that I ain't a person who understands.
Then I try to squeeze in a quick 20-minute workout. I'm using either the Les Mills On Demand app or the Peloton app. Both are great for quick at-home workouts, and kind of whatever I'm feeling for the day is what I attempt to do. I like to either get some cardio in or some strength building, but I find that I'm such a better mom when I squeeze in just these 20 minutes for myself each and every morning. I used to try to do it before the baby got up, but since she's back up at 5, it's a lot easier to squeeze it in the morning. And if I don't get it done in the morning, then I don't even think about it. I'll try to get it done the next day. So tonight for dinner I'm making whole dirty chicken marsala. It is delicious. My kitchen is a complete disaster, so I have even the frame that looks somewhat clean. But it's so yummy, it's so delicious. So let me turn you around and show you what you need. Okay, so you will need 2 shallots and 2 cloves of garlic, the juice of 1 lemon, chicken breast. I buy them already sliced thin but boneless and skinless. You will need arrowroot flour, a little bit of nutritional yeast, some salt and pepper, fresh parsley, baby bellas, ghee, some balsamic vinegar, coconut milk, chicken broth, and olive oil. And it is so yummy. Oh, and of course, some red pepper flakes, just a little bit. If you don't like heat, you can leave them out, but otherwise it is so good. So since the baby was still napping, I thought it was the perfect time to prep some dinner. I usually try to get dinner done in the morning, as crazy as that sounds, but with a almost 1-year-old and an almost 3-year-old, I just don't have time in the afternoons, and you know that 5 o'clock hour is just crazy town in my house. So if I can get like a crock pot meal in, or like sheet pan meal prepped and ready in the fridge to just pop in the oven, it just makes the nighttime so much more smooth, and I don't feel like that crazy mom that's screaming at her kids at the end of the night, although that definitely happens in my house. If that's your house, no stress, we definitely all get there. But so tonight I'm making that paleo chicken marsala recipe. All my recipes are on my Instagram account, Healthy Little Mama, and they will be posted on my blog too, which is also Healthy Little Mama. I post lots of paleo type recipes over there. I've been working on my food photography, so let me know what you think about the photos. But I'm really excited to share more of this passion project here on my YouTube channel, over on my blog, and over on my socials too. And this recipe is super easy. All you need to do is cook up your chicken. It doesn't even need to be cooked all the way through because it's going to cook in the sauce a little bit later. And then saute up some shallots, garlic, your mushrooms, let those cook really good. And then you're going to add your chicken broth, your balsamic vinegar, a little bit of coconut milk. I just used the fat from the top of the can, a little bit of nutritional yeast, season, and some lime. Let that cook and reduce down for about 8 minutes, and then add the chicken back in. It will slowly thicken up. Top it with some parsley, season with what you need. I like to add a little bit of red pepper flakes in kind of as the chicken is going back in, and it is so delicious. You won't even realize that it is paleo, gluten-free, dairy-free. It is just a really yummy recipe that is a family favorite of mine. Up next, I grabbed the kids, brought them in the shower and in the bathroom with me. Took a quick shower just to clean myself off and kind of get ready for the day. And then time to fold some more clothes. Okay, so I am now folding clothes, and I figured I would just put the camera on and chat with you girls. Let's see, where do I start? So in the mornings, I really use that time to work and get things done. So I work part-time from home, and I have this YouTube channel, of course, and my blog. So I have like income coming from like different places, but like for the most part, I stay home with my kids, right? And then focus on my passions like this. I shared my story a little bit over on TikTok, and it was well received. So I figured I would share some of it here. 2 years ago, or now 3 years ago, when Bella was first born, I so badly wanted to stay home with her, like in the worst way. I remember as like maternity leave was ending, I was so sad, and it's hitting me now, like in my heart, thinking about it, because like I did not want her to go to daycare. Like I liked my job, but like when I had kids, my passion had like kind of changed over a little bit. Like my priorities just changed, of course. And so I just didn't want to go back to work. I didn't, like a lot of other moms. But I knew in my heart it would have been financially irresponsible for me to stay home. So like when Bella was born, we had just gotten married like 7 months prior to that, or like, I don't even know, a little bit before that. And we had just bought this house within that year, and so like we just had a lot of money like pouring out of us at the time, right? Like a new house, we were paying off a little bit of our wedding. I personally was in $8,000 of credit card debt that I remember, on top of a $10,000 student loan that I had taken out for college. I just graduated grad school. And so like I was in, like, me personally, like I was in like $20,000 of debt. And so I didn't want to put that financial pressure on like not only my husband, because that's a huge burden to bear. He was just going through everything like me, like a new parent, pursuing his passions. Like that's just a lot to put on my husband. But also like my family, right? Like I didn't want my daughters to like Like, I just wanted to raise my daughter to be financially independent, whatever that meant. It doesn't mean that she needs to be rich, right? But she does need to know like the value of a dollar, and like does need to have a good work ethic. Like, that's how I was brought up. And so internally I was like basically kicking and screaming because I just did not want to go back. Like most moms, I feel like a lot of moms can relate to that. Both stay-at-home moms and working moms. And I feel like it's not really talked about a lot on here because it's not like the hot topic to talk about, but like taking care of finances to me is a part of my self-care. Like, if my finances aren't in check, I personally can't take care of myself. Like, when I was in that debt and I worked my butt off to pay it off, I think I paid it off in just under a year. Like $20,000 I paid off in like just over a year. I was depressed during that time, you know, like I was depressed for a lot of reasons. Like, I had basically been like newly postpartum. I was in financial debt. I wasn't loving my job. I had wanted to pursue this and some other passions that I had, but I just couldn't go all into what I wanted to. So it was a lot of growing up that year. And I remember like being like, why me? Like, why did I do this to myself? Like, what did I even buy that was so important? And I also remember thinking like, oh my gosh, imagine if instead of like $8,000 of debt or like $18,000 of debt, I had $18,000 of savings. Because like, once you have money, like money just grows. You know what I mean? Like, it's so much easier to make more money once you have money. But when you don't have money, it's so hard to make money. And I don't mean to have like a ton of money talk here, but like I do think it's important to share this message because like I said, like I created this channel to like inspire and like communicate and connect with other moms that were similar to me. Like everything health and wellness, and just like I wanted to connect with people, right? Like I wanted to share my story authentically because I felt like my story wasn't really out there. And this is a huge part of my story. So anyway, going back. So I made the decision to go back to work, and it was okay. Like, I was thankful to at least have a job. I was bringing in income to my family. My daughter's daycare teachers were literal angels. They were so wonderful. They were a part of our village. They were like extended family. And I just knew like, okay, for my second kid, I want to be home. Like, I want to work so that I can stay home with them, or at least have the choice to like choose to stay home or go back to work, whatever I wanted to do. So when I was in debt, what I did to get out of it was I looked at my budget like all the time. Like, I knew my numbers like inside and out. I think that's like the first step to like getting out of debt, is like know what your numbers are and hone in on that and like make goals to pay it off. I also had a zero budget, so like I followed the Dave Ramsey model. I didn't read his books, but I just looked at it online, and there's a bunch of YouTube videos that talk about it too. But so I knew where every single penny was going, and it just like zeroed down. Like, I wasn't saving anything, but I was paying off. And I was doing like that rollover method where like I focused on like one credit card. Once that credit card was paid off, what I was paying to that credit card got rolled over into the next one. So it was just like more and more and more money that I was able to pay down the debt. Other smaller things that I did that actually I really think helped me in my mindset pay off the debt, I would do once a month or like once every other month, like as often as I could, I would do weeks of zero spending. So like I would make dinners out of the pantry. Like, we had a lot of like spaghetti dinners. I ate a ton of like tuna fish sandwiches for lunch, peanut butter and jelly. Like, I just remember like those weeks of no spending, they were like, it was hard because it, you know, especially when you're working, you have to like prep your lunch. It's so much easier to just like go out and like buy like a lunch or like buy a cup of coffee. But like I did zero spending for a week, and like that just helped us so much. And then like the biggest thing, which is gonna sound so ridiculous to some, but like I deleted Instagram off of my phone for a while until the debt was paid off. And I think when I did that to when the debt was paid off, that was probably like 4 or 5 months. And the reason being was because I found that when I was on Instagram, like not only was I just like comparing my life and my situation to others through like the influencers and stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that because like I totally support women. I want women to be financially successful and stable and independent, but like I remember being like, oh, I love those shoes. Oh, there's a sale. Like, it was basically just like me living in a mall on Instagram. And so when I deleted the account, like I didn't have the urge to like buy unnecessary things, and I didn't feel bad about myself with like saving and paying off debt. So for me, I found that like Instagram especially was like a big trigger. For you, like, or if you're in this situation, maybe it's YouTube. But anyway, so, and I also recognize too that like for some people, like when you take a look at like the cost of daycare, like gas, car payment, wardrobe, like it may make more sense for you to stay home because the cost of daycare is like insane. But like, I just wanted to share this because I feel like not a lot of people talk about it, and like I feel like there are a lot of moms, I know a handful of moms that are in like a ton of credit card debt, and they're stay-at-home moms. And I'm not saying that like being a stay-at-home mom means that you're gonna accumulate all this credit card debt. I am saying though, being in debt is like not a fun place to be. Like, it's a really rough place to be. And if you're a mom, like I was, okay. So my camera cut me off and I needed to switch out the battery. But anyway, so long story short, I guess, is now I'm in a much better situation. Like, I have savings, I'm able to choose to work, I'm able to choose to work from home, part-time. I have a nanny who's actually a good friend of mine who comes by a couple of times a week during the morning, and I pay her just to like watch the girls while I can get work done and get some house stuff done, which is like just so great for like my mental health, because us stay-at-home moms will tell you it is like the hardest job in the world, and like it's like the most emotionally draining job. Like, it's wonderful to be able to watch your babies grow up and be a part of all of the memories and like spend these days with them. Like, I'm so appreciative and so grateful, but like having her come, and she's studying to go to school, she wants to be a first grade teacher, like it's just perfect, because especially even with the pandemic, like Bella's getting like that like social connection with other people aside from just like her mom, her dad, and her sister with the nanny. And like she's getting like lessons and stuff. She's like kind of going to school with her, and it's really wonderful. So I guess this message goes out to a couple different folks. The message I think would go out to, if you're a mom that's struggling, deciding whether or not to go back to work for maternity leave, I would definitely say you're not alone. It is a struggle for so many moms who like either want to stay home, or like they want to go back to work but they don't want to leave their babies at a daycare. Like, they want to be a part of it all. Like, you're not alone. Like, I hope you know that. Like, reach out if you feel alone in that decision, because it's hard stuff. Like, it's like really hard to make that decision. 2, if you're a mom or somebody that is in debt, I promise you're not alone. I think so many people don't talk about it because they're embarrassed by it. Like, I know I certainly was, and now I'm like so proud. It's like one of my most proud accomplishments, like getting out of debt and like being able to choose and do what I want to do. But like, you're not alone, and it's definitely going to be a struggle to get out of it. But I promise on the other side, it's like such a freeing place to be. So don't be embarrassed. You're not alone. I was there and worked hard. It'll be really worth it in the end. And then, yeah, like the point of my channel is to connect with you folks that are watching, so thank you for watching. But I also want to be realistic and let you know that, you know, I think it can be really easy to find yourself to compare your situation to somebody else's, especially somebody else's on the internet. But the reality is, for a lot of YouTubers, especially bigger channels, this is their job. I certainly want it to be my full-time job one day, to be able to create content that's like authentic, genuine, that like inspires you to be like the best version of yourself and take like daily steps each day to live like a really like healthy and fulfilling lifestyle. Like, that's like the goal here. Like, I want to like inspire folks to do things like that through fitness and eating well and organization and cleaning and just like what my current phase of life is. Like, I want to share that with you. So I don't know. Anyway, I know that was long-winded, but I have finished folding my towels. And I think that ends my video. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. If you stuck around through my very chatty, long-winded story, I hope that you took something out of it. But anyway, if you have not yet done so, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a big old thumbs up. Turn the notifications on if you want to see when my next videos are live. It means so much to me. It like really makes such the difference when you do those 3 things for us YouTubers, especially small YouTubers. So I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a wonderful day, and until the next video, bye friends.